Today we are feeding all our isopods. Oh, there are isopods everywhere. You know me, there is never too much moss. That's not possible. And can get up to 10 years in captivity, but there are always some kind of issues. Hello, creature lovers, and welcome to the universe. Today, my name is Martin from Creepy Creatures Universe, and if you enjoy isopod and invertebrate content, there is a lot of it, so you should consider hitting that subscribe button. We start our monthly isopod feeding with a little rehousing, and it's a quick, fast, and dirty thing. We have the Kubaris Spetz Ishigaki here. Whoop, there are two. Cool. Seeing isopods isn't always... Oh, there are isopods everywhere. Cool thing. We're trying to be very gentle, and now we damp it in here. We use the paintbrush that I already saw to clean out the bin. Why? Because if there is already any brood inside, we won't miss it out, and it's the easiest way to clean it with the paintbrush. And also the easiest way to not hurt anything. That worked pretty well. And once again, we're having an empty box. Always clean the paintbrush afterwards, spreading that out a bit. This will be all munched up by the pods. The substrate is 100% useful for them. I don't want to squish you, little guy, come on. You're right where I want to put the bark piece. Thank you. Or should we? We will turn that around. That's maybe more intelligent. And we need a small piece of carrot because there are only about 10 pieces. And since they are tuberous burrowing species, I damp the calcium right on the ground. It's pre-moistened, pre-soaked and pre-moistened a lot, so we give it just a little spray because of course I forgot to fill the squish bottles. But we will finish this enclosure and go to the other afterwards. And there we will use the break to fill the squish bottle. And as you can see, here's the next cool thing. We did a little changery. So we have more space up here and we can fill this up as well. And next are the Porcelio ornatus yellow. Oh my god. That's gonna be very, very hard to bring them all over. That was easy. Put that away. There is a lot of moss. Trying to put the moss over into the mossy side. Well, there is really a lot of moss. But you know me, there is never too much moss. That's not possible. I just need to really be careful to don't squish anything or anyone. It's perfect. And now we're trying to be very gentle again, which will be pretty hard to manage. I tried this way for the first few attempts. Because as you can see, they are all clumped up in the corner. and I try to manage to get as much substrate as possible out without flipping them, so they don't have to dig through all the substrate to get up again. Stay there. I think this plan is pretty nice for the pots. I'm trying to grabbing as much as possible from down there without grabbing any pots, which works pretty well. Oh my god, look how big the babies already are. Cool thing. And that's also the answer. If this could be dwarf whites, they are not. So, and now we need to flip this whole thing inside here. And now we need to get out all the babies without hurting them. That worked pretty well, I would say. Once again, using the paintbrush to get the substrate together with disturbing the small ones as less as possible. We need to inspect that a little later if there's something moving inside. Oh, I mean, they are already high yellow, and you can see there are clearly more yellow animals than the others. So, could be interesting breeding project as well. We will see how they appear in the future. We have a second piece of bark here, because this is a little small. You need to go out, little fella, thank you. We filled it up. We need to save calcium because, of course, we're running out of calcium. You know we're running out of calcium. And that's done as well. I think we don't have a label at the moment for them. So this will stay up here. And we put them aside at the moment. We have here, okay. So now we're going with the next new cuberries. Is it cuberries? Yes, it's the Platin Tungsung. Tungsung. I hope I at least spelled it somehow right. And we're now trying to get out the paper towel. But there were already babies, so I need to check that first. That looks good. That looks also good. And also nothing on the cardboard. Perfect. Do we see isopods here? Underneath there? Yep, here. Those are the cuberries Platin Tungsung. I like how it's spelled Tungsung. That's pretty cool. So once again, small piece of carrot here. There are only a few inside. Since it's cuberries, we're spilling the calcium right on the substrate. I don't think we need to water, but we will a bit. And I'm pretty sure we will have molded boxes in a few days. Yes, of course, they are set up once again right before the arrival. Next is Nesodillo Archangeli, I don't know how they are spelled right. Next new cool species. I already see two. Let's try a flip. Yep. Pretty cool. Put them down again. Very gentle. Also, small piece of carrot. I think I don't need to tell you this every time. I don't bring protein to the small colonies because they will mold. Doesn't matter how small the piece is, we're waiting until the colony is getting a little bit bigger. There is detritus inside, so there will be protein. We are feeding mushrooms, that's not a big problem. So they will have enough protein. Like I said, as you can see, it's rearranged, which is pretty cool. Space, space, space. And just to tell you what's the plans for the room here. We know this room will get too small pretty soon, but the plan clearly is to stack the bins up here and stack them up this way, and we will have to move them around, but that's more energy efficient than putting 20 boxes in the next room and heating the whole room the whole time for 20 boxes. It's a little bit more work to do, but I think I'm pretty sure that's the better solution. Okay. We already have a box here. Sorry. Once again, we have cardboard. Oh, no, that's leaf litter. That's leaf litter as well. And we're trying to flip this again. Yeah, Cubaris Morina Mandarin. So what's the next steps here? As always, I try to use the time to talk you a bit through the isopods and to talk you a bit through what's going on here. As you know, or if you don't know, you should watch the last video. And I don't spray these boxes because the unboxing was yesterday. So those bins are already sprayed. And maybe you saw in the unboxing, we are getting the spider breeding going a bit with getting adult females. We got whip spiders, which are basically in English called whipless whip scorpions, which is Sorripias, which means scorpion without a stinger, but they already have a name. In German we say Geiselspinnen, which means whip spiders in English, which is the perfect name for them. And here we have Cubaris spetz miyako, another dark Cubaris. Anything here? Oh, not a single one. Oh, they are running around here. I saw you. Here. Come on. Oh, there are a lot here. Look. All of them are buried under the substrate, and they have these nice red skirts. I don't want to disturb them too much. They are also new. If you don't know that, you also should watch the last video, the unboxing. I'll link it at the end, so you need to watch this video until the end to see the next video. And no, it's not possible to go there in any other way. Of course not. And since yesterday we revealed two of my birthday presents, there is already everything. Oh, look, clown isopod. Those are just Amadillidium confa glugiomis, which means they look like Amadillidium klugi, but we are not sure if they are Amadillidium klugi. A lot of pods, especially on the other side. Pretty cool. Flipping back, very gentle. Nothing on here. And also a small piece of carrot, it's a small colony as well. And they like it really, really dry. That's why we only have this small moss corner. But that needs to be damp, so I water that again, just in case. And in reality, here in the room we have a problem with too much watering than too less watering, or I am watering too much instead of too less, which is not that big kind of a deal. What do we have here? Cuberries. Just thinking of how to rearrange them a bit, but shouldn't be our problem at the moment. Let's start down there, because I'm forgetting them if I don't do it now. Here we have the dwarf whites. And of course I forgot something downstairs. But we will do it a little bit different. Then we are using this protein source. Just a little bit. As you can see, this all is already moistened. We just water the moss a bit. Those dwarf whites are pretty cool. They munch up nearly everything. They breed pretty good. And as a cleanup crew, they are really cool. Oh, here's something moving. Here is a dwarf white, yes. We even can show you a dwarf white. Yeah, and we already agreed, back to the other thing, we already agreed to a change, or an exchange, where the next species are on the way into the universe, which is really cool. So the growth at the moment is pretty fast, but I'm sure we won't keep up with this speed for long. But at the moment, the growth is really good. So yeah, let's switch to that. No, I need to go get something from downstairs. Here we have the springtails. Those are the Pilobella braunerae or braunerae nae. I'm not that sure. And I try to get them out with food. Sprinkle a bit in there. And there should already be enough moisture inside. They are pretty cool as well. Yeah, I put it down there at the moment. And here we need to be careful, because those are springtails as well, and they jump. And there are not that many left down in the substrate or in their colony setup. I'm pretty sure I sprinkled much too much. Those are just normal fish food flakes. I don't use it for isopods or something, but for springtails, I don't know why, but there it is. Okay. Yes, of course, that's my special behavior sometimes. And we're trying to get into springtails a bit, but not the slime mold eaters. Maybe Andrea will get her hands on something like this. But I have absolute no interest in them, really not. Now we have some Porcellio Levi's orange. They are so prolific breeders. We have the bin behind there with I don't know how many youngs that we need to grow out before we can totally trash that bin, or not grow out, just grow bigger to sort them out. You will see that a little later. Should be the same, of course. So we did the split up here. Oh, where's my trash bin there? Sorry. And they are breeding like crazy again. But that was pretty clear that happens. That's absolutely no problem. We have enough space at the moment. And I think when we start getting our expo schedule a little denser, there will be absolutely no problem in getting them away. Here we have the Armadillo officinalis, the giant roly-polies that can hiss and can get up to 10 years in captivity. They are so cool, you see them all the time. They are all the time on the move when they are more in the bin, or a bigger number in the bin when the colony is bigger. And here also, second bin, as you can see, with non-tropical species. I only water the moss, I do not water the substrate. There will be a bit of water that is absorbed by the moss, by the substrate from the moss. And here also they are everywhere. Also small ones. Same, they are not breeding that fast like the Porcellio, Levi's or dairy cows, but they do breed very fast. And they are so cool pets. And also cool display animals, so we are looking now for colors to pop up. And hopefully get them in some variations. We know there are existing brown ones and I think nearly pink ones or pinkish ones. Powder oranges, or is it right? No, it's the Oreo crumbles. And now we are getting through a lot of Bruinosa bins, where we will clean out the feeding dish, because we have to fill up a bit of substrate. Not that much, but just a good twist. Yeah, you know what I mean. Talking and working is always a hustle. This works pretty well. As you can see, the box looks pretty good, but the box also is not that old. And since this box is such an overcrowd, we will put protein right from the get-go and some water on the moss. Bruinoses are one of the coolest isopods in the hobby, in my opinion. They appear in so many colors. They have so many cool looks, and this is, in my opinion, the best isopod for bioactive. They are not that protein driven like Porcellios, and they don't munch your animals on normally. There are always exceptions, but normally that doesn't happen. Here we have the maculatum bin, yes. And there are trillions of maculatum in there. We need to split them up as soon as possible. Oh yeah, there are already, there are hundreds of animals inside, so it's normal that there are some dying. But the numbers are getting pretty high now. So we will sort them out in the next few days for sure. I'm trying to get that out as well. Oh, mushy stuff. Yeah, that needs to happen in the next few days. Because we don't want to have something like we had with the Fronte triangulums, so we have to clean it up as soon as possible. So just a little feeder. 1, 2, 3, 4. And like I said, we normally have a problem with too wet, and this also occurs here. You can see the whole substrate is wet. I would not recommend that for maculatums. And we're doing the next maculatums. Here you see how the box should look like. Here we have I think those are the zebras. Oh, there was a slime mold. We need to wash that off. And if something like this happens, it's just slime mold. It's a mushroom basically, or not really. It's just another living organism. That is absolutely no problem. I washed it off. That's okay. We will wash that later, but I have to throw it into the sink. And we're going with food. What I would be pretty interested in, do we see any babies here? Yep, of course. Careful. Of course, there are one piece, there are not a lot inside. Once again, just spraying the moss that is already wet, so not a lot to do here. And those are now the high whites. Those are no high whites, I would say. Ah, here they are. Yeah, that need to be selected pretty good. But we have deaths inside here as well.
We have fun. Okay.
Necrophilia. So, guys, this happens, yeah? There are die-offs in boxes. You just need to see it before you have a big problem. We have 2 dead isopods inside here with, I think, we started the colony with about 25. That's nearly nothing. This happens. Like I said, we just need to get the maculatum separated. That's why I put the box up on the top. Here we have the next Porcellanitis that need to be redone, and that need to be redone very quick. Those are is one of the mix bins. I'm really thinking about getting a bigger bin and setting them and bringing all the mix bins together to have them in a really big bin as cleanup crew breedings. And I think this is a pretty cool idea, because we really sold a lot of cleanup crew boxes at the last expo. So cleanup crew definitely is a thing, and this was an invertebrate expo, not even a reptile expo. Dairy cows. So in my opinion, cleanup crew is a really cool thing to have in a reptile terrarium. We even have it in some of our invertebrate enclosures with mantises, where I like to feed flies because this is their preferred meal in nature. We have dwarf whites inside to get rid of all the wings and the left exoskeletons, which are a lot, by the way. Oops, there is a heavy one down. No, that's the rehouse from the get-go. And as you can see, everything that likes it a bit more on the moist side is thriving here. And the other boxes, we just need to be aware and get the moisture out. It would be ideal to have about 60% humidity in the room. Then there is absolutely no danger of killing them with not enough humidity so they can't breathe. Thanks Edwin Lopez for this pretty informative information, or pretty essential information. And that's, oh my god, they already grew up. Okay, we need to go through that again. We waited too long, they already were picked out, most of them. And now, as you can see, we clearly waited too long. Next one on the list. It's always not that easy with getting the right time, but this is definitely too long. But there is a lot going. And everything here is pretty fine. As you saw, the animals, the colonies are thriving, they are breeding. So no problems at all. In reality, it's just crying on a pretty high level. What do we have here? This is the box where the die-off happened. And they are still dying. So yes, there is something wrong in the bin. Yep. We sorted them out, they still die. I think it is too moist. Yeah, it feels too moist. There are still animals inside and I think we need to set them up again. I mean, there are animals inside. Do we have babies somewhere? That would be the interesting part. But the substrate is pretty dry. So I don't know why they are dying. They still keep dying. Ah, okay. It is pretty wet down here. Yeah, maybe a new setup, much drier. Put this on also on the list. I think we rescued them, so there must be something else going on, not only the substrate. But it could be the substrate because they and the maculatum are on the same substrate. So the possibility is given. Yeah, let's start with these bins. That's the already emptied out one. Here we have, what do we have here? Powder orange, also nearly empty. Oh no, this is the Levi's bin. They are also already grown pretty big. So we need to go through that bin before they breed once again. I don't spray anything here, as you can see, it's pretty moist inside. Food. Clearing out the vents a bit. Wow, okay, that must be one we missed because they don't wear this big. But here's the next thing we can go through. And I think it's going on a bit longer. This is... oh, the Panda King bin. That should be pretty empty already, but I think there are still... yeah, of course, there are still pandas inside. Not that much, and we have definitely a... no. Missing the word, gnat infestation. Also this bin pretty wet already. Much too much. Those are the bins where we know we need to go through because they are already split up. Oops. That was a bit ungentle. This should be the, yes, those are the officinalis, and another gnat infestation. Same here, bin is pretty wet. Just doing out those, and there are small tiny pots everywhere. So cool. And that's the thing, guys, yeah, you cannot take the whole bin and sort it out and then damp it. I mean, you can if you freeze it or something like this. And there is another overcrowded powder orange bin. Also here, just bring the vents a bit. Even if they are closed, it's no problem because there is enough airflow through the lid, but I always try to clean them out a bit. Oh, look at this. Now it's gonna be a dark one, not a white one. And that's why I think we need to set up bigger cleanup crew bins, because you can't have enough of them, but you don't want to have them in the small bins. That doesn't make any sense. So the next two bins to go through. Ooh, that was close. Okay, we push the one that is on the downside. Or on the bottom. Here we go with another Pruinosis bin. I think that would be cool with the slides for under the bed that must fit, I don't know how many liters. Just a bit. That is munched up until the wick. I'm playing with this thinking since a few weeks now. That's why the box isn't redone, because I really don't know if we should redo them in a small bin. It makes no sense in my opinion. And also, I don't need to water the bin, there is enough moisture inside. Here we have another Pruinosis bin that is already a split up bin, where we tested some substrate, so a lot of from them will go inside here. What the heck is this? Ah, that is coming into mold. Okay. Yup. And as you can see, also here a dead isopod, but there are so many inside that should be no sign of alarming in any ways. The only thing you can see, these Pruinosis are getting a little bit bigger since they have a little bit more space, which will be pretty interesting to watch with the other ones. If they get bigger again when they have more space. Here are a Panda King bin where we also tested the substrate, I think. And there are also Panda Kings everywhere. Also here, no need to spray. They are already pretty wet. And it really is a moisture problem in here. Normally we would have to switch our moisturizing system, But first we needed to look how it works in this room. So it's always constantly learning and evolving. I need to think a bit. We got that, we got that, we got that. That is done, that is done. So we're here now. And let's start with them. Yes. Those are the Porcellio bolivari yellow ghost. And as you can see, they finally getting to breed and develop a cool colony size. Now there are a lot of them somewhere hidden. Oh, we need scissors. That one here. Here is a mold stuck. We leave that inside because I'm pretty sure they munched it up. So we don't want to disturb them too much. They are in there in every size. When it's a little bit darker, you can see them everywhere. And they will get a bit of wood as well because they really like to munch up white rotten wood in our experience. And here we just put a little water on the mossy side in this area. That's enough. And just a little piece of carrot. They definitely prefer rotten wood and leaf litter. So with these big isopods, it is really a pain in the you know what I mean to get them going. Oh my god. Hey, cool. The expansers. Look at what we have here. What a layer of mushrooms. We leave that in. I just want to know what it is. Here is everything full of mushrooms. Okay, yeah, they are normal mushrooms. Normal, I mean the form of the mushrooms, the body, the fruit body. Oh, and the mushroom is also growing here on the wood. There is another one there. Hope we get them to breed. They are not that easy. Also, one of the bigger species. And here you can clearly see there is no more lignin inside these leaves. If they wouldn't be wet, I could crumble up them with ease. And in reality, that's perfect for the isopods. So we leave that as well. No more moisture here as well. Oh. Here we have the Armadillidium palasi orange. Pulling that out. And of course there is mold on the leaves, but that is pretty normal. This is a box that was set up a few weeks ago. So after the expo in Vienna, we're putting in 2 pieces here. As you can see, the isopods are fine. There are springtails inside, at least I hope so. So the mold will go away by itself. Nothing to worry about. And next are the Giughi Lake Scutami, and as you can see, there are black ones. There are black ones inside. And they are already breeding. We have babies everywhere. And also the box is too moist. So just a little spray on the moss and that's it. So I think We will have some die-offs in the near future. Why? Pretty simple. We need to dry the bins out a bit. We now can say it's necessary to dry the bins out. And I'm not sure how that works out, because you need to get the sweet spot between too dry and a good moisture level. So it won't be that easy. Yeah, we're doing this pretty easy here. Those are the Christ Armadillidium muricatum. Oh, yes, there are mites on the carrot, but there are also babies on the carrot. So, yeah, we have to live with the mites in this case. And as we have no piece of wood inside here, maybe we can find something. Yeah, here. Also a small one. They don't get very big, but those are little spikies, so they are really cool. Or not spikies, little knobbies. We leave that carrot piece in, give him a gentle spray on the moss, because that's not that dry, not that wet. Next are once again Panda Kings. Yeah, we have a lot of them. But they were our first cuberry species to get into cuberries. Here as well, I leave the carrot inside, put more in. We put a bit calcium on top here, or next to the substrate, that's also fine. Moisten a bit. We don't need to spray the substrate, they like it more moist, but I only give it a good rinse with the squish bottle, and that's enough. We put them up here, and then we will put the 2 cuberries boxes up there as well, because they are tropical. Slime mold or flower pot fungus or something. And yes, of course, there is fungus growing everywhere. Look at this. Everywhere isopods. Everywhere babies. So another piece of carrot, calcium, and we're done here as well. Just a little spray to the moss. The bins are really moist enough. I think it's pretty funny. We struggle with general humidity in the room. We are at about 50%. That's a lot. Okay, that's the thing. I am having an enlightenment at the moment. Of course, the heater, it doesn't run that often, so the humidity in the room goes up, which means the humidity in the bins doesn't evaporate as it did the whole time before. Which means we need to look out for our watering behavior the whole year. Those are Armadillidium Spatz San Lucia. They work pretty well. Maybe it's just a thing where we need to reconsider if there are species that we shouldn't keep in this room, or we just need to adjust better than we are doing now. I would love to have the 60% humidity in the room, because if we would achieve that, it would be pretty easy to only spray the moss, and we don't have to worry about anything on the dry side, about any deaths. There is no labeling here. that's the Onatus, of course. There never was a labeling. So we're still having 2 towers, and we start with this tower. Wow, a lot of mushroom growth inside here as well. Do I find any isopods inside here? There are white sharks inside. We know there are heavy burrowers, so I'm not sure if we will find a single one of them. Yeah, we saw them the last time when we checked, so everything fine here. Would be really interesting where they are, but I think they are burrowed somewhere in the substrate. Yeah, I have one. Here we go. And here the leaves are pretty dry, but that's because the mushroom already eat up the lignin in the leaves. So here also spraying the moss, and we're good. Next is... oh, those are the sunset queens, the Trogodillo. And normally you see them. Not a single one today, really? Come on. Ah, I have one. Pretty cool little tanks. I love the broadness of the Trogodillos. They are tropical species as well, so once again a good watering for the moss. And no mushroom inside here, but those is a different kind of leaves. Or those are different kinds of leaves. Just need to... yeah, split the carrot, come on! Because it is eaten up from the middle, so I want to check if there is no small ones inside. Piece of carrot, calcium is already there. So we're done with that. Oops! Here we have the Cuberis Spätzweit white side. What's this? Maybe we can find something here also. But I think they are somewhere in the moss, because you can see the tunnels there. Ah, I have one. Here. And there is another one there. And guys, we already have babies everywhere. I found 4 just with one little scoop. And there is a big one. Or there are some big ones. What the heck? There are babies everywhere already. That's so cool. Yep, I would say we have breeders here. Once again calcium, so we need to watch the carrot much closer than I did in the first look. And once again, tropical species. Here we could even give a little spray, but nah, it's moist enough. I would just make it wet, and that makes no sense. And now I hope we will find something in the next bin. Because here we have rubber duckies. So let's see if we can find a ducky. Oh my god, there are mites again on the carrot. But that works pretty good. So we have soil mites in there, of course, 100%. If they are on the carrot, they are everywhere in the substrate. So let's see if we find a ducky. Oh, come on. I have one. Here we have a ducky. Oh, they are getting already pretty big. So it's just a matter of time. There is another ducky down there. So it's just a matter of time until they breed as well. Sorry for disturbing you. I see a third ducky. Yes, that's the corner where they are. If I tap here, there should be one more coming out, right? And here is another big ducky. Yep, we found the duckies. That is freshly molted. You can see it in that vibrant colors. Cool, we got rubber duckies. And here we will spray the substrate a bit. Because that isn't that moist. Oh, there is no moisture at all anymore. But we know the bin that stands on top always evaporates the most. Calcium is already there, so we just put in 2 pieces of carrot. And with that cool rubber ducky shot, we're going to the last tower. The last tower of power. Ah yeah, that's really cool now. Because they all have the real lids. Careful, careful, careful. And we start with the Armadillidium nassatum peachy ones, or also peachy ones inside. And here you can see there are some, there is another one, there are babies everywhere. Okay, it's done. They are breeding like crazy. Cool thing. So just a matter of time until they are also available. And once again, I will leave this piece of carrot because there are spots everywhere. Put that here. Calcium is already there. That's really, really cool. So this works as well. And now we're going to our experiments or breeding projects. But before we have the Yukianura what? Ophororhynchoides. I don't know how they are called. And there are springtails that are on camera. Cool. I mean, in reality, they are everywhere, or they need to be everywhere. We just need to give it a little spray. I'm trying to watch them by myself. Don't see that many, so we just water them off. Maybe with the other spray bottle. Yeah, they are everywhere. We give it a little spray. And once again, we're feeding some fish flake food to get them going. And the cool thing with springtails is if the protein molds, they will eat up the mold as well. Cool. I can see them much better through the camera. Yeah, there is already movement. They are popping up between the... Oh yeah. There is a lot of movement already. Or am I blind? Do I see this right? There is a lot of movement.
These are the flakes.
Okay.
Orange flakes.
So do they work or do they not work? They are in the substrate?
They are in the substrate.
Hmm.
We saw them before on video.
Okay. I mean, there is a little bit of movement at least, so if you see some of them, there must be more in the substrate. Hopefully. Then we have the real Oreo crumble bin, where we need to wait until this generation is breeding. We started out with 2 Oreo crumbles and 1 white isopod. I have no idea if they're still left inside. There are babies everywhere, so we leave that. Just a little spray on the back. We need to wait 1 more generation. I mean, there was a possibility that there are Oreo crumbles popping up. We already have the next generation. There are small ones crawling around. So I'm pretty curious if we can get the white gene bred out and the Oreo crumble gene. Then here we have the spiniquanis. There are also high yellows inside. Oh, and it's cool since we have the new leaf litter in there. There are much less isopods on the vents and much more isopods in the leaf litter, which is pretty cool. But I don't see babies at the moment. Yeah, but there are isopods everywhere. They are a wild catch colony, our only and first wild catch colony. And I think we get them going pretty good. They are very slow breeders. And I think now we're at the time where they need a big enclosure. So we start putting back them. We put back them. And them. And then I think this is the most successful project at the moment. Oh, that's a little bit wet. Those are the Black Panda kings. As you can see, there are already babies inside. And I see something. Whoop, come on. Thank you. That is not Black Panda king. That already needs to be selected out. Panda King, Panda King, Panda King.
Another one.
Yep. So you see how breeding projects work right at the get-go, live and colored. And we got two out. So there are black pandas inside and they are already breeding. And since they are already breeding, we need to sort out the not Black Panda King ones, so the normal colored ones, to get them in only black coloration. And there are a lot of babies inside here, which is seen when you start twisting and turning things and start digging a bit. And that substrate isn't that good. Another one. But there are a lot of black pandas already inside. So this works pretty good. But now I think it's nearly time to go through the whole bin to select out the not black pandas. Whoop. Hey, come on. Thank you. So opening up that again, you got a real shot of how selecting is done and how it also is done in the pretty fast things. When it has to go pretty fast. We had a suicidal panda here, sorry for that. And with that cool thing at the end, just a little putting that back in place. Just a little reminder here. As you saw, 99% thrive, 99% work really good, but there are always some kind of issues. And the important thing I think is not hanging yourself up on these issues. Of course you need to fix these issues, we also will fix these issues. I think it was a pretty bad substrate problem, and maybe the isopods are still dying because they are poisoned in some way. But would be really interesting also because the dairy cows and the Levi's also had the same substrate as well as the Bolivari, and they are absolutely fine with the substrate. So I think it's the amount of moisture inside, and we need to fix that as soon as possible or stop keeping this species. But again, there are a lot of Armadillidium species that work really good, so we just need to fix these problems. And with that being said, guys, if you need bins or something, they are linked in the description. Those are Amazon affiliate links, so it helps us if you buy something from there. It works in Germany, Austria, Liechtenstein, and it should work in the US already. Besides that, nothing more to say from me. Wish you all the best, have great 3 days, hit that subscribe button and see you in the universe. Bye bye.